affecting everything, man. Yo, what is going on, right? So many, like it's a lot of work to get it done, right? So div tag, I realize the div tag is affecting my image tag. There's no degree of separation here. Everything is being taken. Maybe I'm editing the wrong element. Let's try again. All right, so I have a div tag, which is a container separate from the image tag. But when I apply my margin tab, it's still affecting. Let's try padding. Maybe padding is the most ideal thing. Padding again just adds space to the top of the file as well. However, they do it differently. We'll get into that later. All right, let's try the 46 frame again to see. Oh, all right, see some movement there. All right. If I push it down too far, let's bring it back up. All right, things are moving, nice. All right. All right, so now it's moving because, like I said, padding in itself affects the container, the inside of a container where things are actually happening. So this gives a perfect depiction of what really happens with that. So the padding affects the div container, right, the outside of the div container, while margin encompasses the entire thing. So it will probably affect the entire page. It will affect the entire document itself. Right, so padding zooms down to the element, while margin probably affect the entire thing. And this is just like I said, browsers are useful to give you these answers.
But why? Why
Is it about why?
Why didn't it just put it in the right hand? It was doing it fine before when everything was left. They just did it in order, and now that it's on the right, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna move that up.
It was going to break, right?
Yeah.
But remember, I did tell you, so HTML they follow the linear flow. So things are usually flowing from top to bottom, and that is what CSS allows you to move to the right, to the left, and things like that. Let's see if we can move it to center. Very. All right, so this is where it should go. But maybe I spelled center wrong. I think it's RE. All right, perfect, perfect. All right. Why is that not working? Is float center not a thing? Let's see if float center, the liner float, image float. All right, so float center. Let's try to center an image in CSS. How do you do that? Use a class center, display block, margin auto, margin left, width 50. All right, I'll explain this to you guys. I'll break it. No worries, no worries. I really want you guys to see the pain that comes with
Coding?
no, not with coding, but the things that you try to achieve using just raw CSS by itself. The issues that Flexbox tries to fix. Yeah, it's leading up the Flexbox. I want to demonstrate some of the painful things that you can come across. If you have an example, just let us know here to properly demonstrate why we need Flexbox. All right, so display block, right? Just gonna right click. I'm gonna remove each to just show what each thing does. So unchecking it removes it, right? So you can check it, uncheck it to see the difference there. But you realize everything here is dependent. They're so dependent, they're very dependent, but you take a set of steps. And as you remove the width, all this is saying is basically yeah, how much of the page is supposed to take up. So if you move, this is just the size of the image typically. Like I say, you can just mess around with it in your browser to see how the styles are applied and why they're applied. Margin right, if you apply a size, the reason why it's auto is because it just fills the container. Using auto allows it to fill that gap. So the different margins I'm using auto will allow you to fill in that space and then you just create a space. And display blocks allow that concept to be applied. So you remove display block, you realize the display principles no longer apply to it. So with displays, there's many sets of displays that you can abide by. And one of them is flex. You realize the word for flex as well, right? But let's remove this and see. Different displays come with different I do have my chart. Can pause my Take my charger out of there. Sorry guys, I just getting my charger for the laptop. No, I'm the centerpiece. Yeah, yeah.
Where's the insert?
Huh?
Where's the insert?
It's in there. It's in the power adapter, the extension, the end. It's plugged into something.
Yeah.
Stretch the extension or the card or something. Right. So as you begin to develop, you realize that there are a lot of things like moving around a simple image that requires a lot of code to happen to maintain certain set of structure. So we've applied a div tag to this thing for it to maintain its linear layout. And then we basically have to apply styles to this and the image. But with Flex now, we can encapsulate the whole thing into a Flex box. And what I wanted to do before I get to the coding aspect, I think, was do a little exercise with you guys. All right, so there's a thing called FlexiFrog, Flexbox frogs, right? So what it basically allows you to do is using CSS. So using Flexbox or the concept of Flexbox, move the frog from one place to the top of the pod, right? So they're going to explain what different versions of Flexbox does, or different code base or syntax for Flexbox is, and you need to apply them to see how you can move things over. So I'll give you an example. So welcome to Flexbox Froggy, a game where you can help Froggy and friends by writing CSS code, guide this frog to the little pad on the right by using justify content property.
Right.
You can float it to the right though.
Yeah, why not?
Like, make a float and say, no? But we have to stick to the thing, because can't break money, bro. You know, move. I just a rule of the game. Don't worry about it. I rule of the game. But I can see, I can show you. I can show you. So I'm gonna do the same things in Flexbox, and we're gonna do it here so in CSS by itself without Flexbox. Fair? All right. So now, welcome to Flexbox Froggy. Right? We're gonna use justify content property, which is just another syntax for Flexbox that you have to learn, right? Which aligns item horizontally and accept the following value. So Flexbox by default is just another display, similar to display block is just another display. Just another format to display thing. And let's say I have a multitude of them, but Flexbox for me come in very handy. So for example, using justify content and then Flexbox will move the frog to the right. So justify content, and then applying flex and closing that works, right? So just applying the different things. I don't always give an example. Comparing to what would have done in the past, would I use a display block and can just float it right? We did float it right? So let's float it right. So yeah, that is easy, right? Everybody can appreciate that. Refresh, it's there to the right. However, things break here.
You could have put it on there and not in the.
Not in the CSS file. All right. So let's say we want to put everything in here. We still apply padding, right? We can apply padding to this. I will reapply the padding, and we're going to probably qualify remit, right? Probably too much again. Sorry, the padding top. The padding top, right? We'll change the value to come down. What if I wanted to put something beside the image here? Because if we highlight the padding, realize that this padding takes up the space, and the space now belongs to this element. But we still need items here, so. Who's that? Oh, morning, George. Hey man, so we're trying. So this area will be taken up by the padding. There's nothing that can be applied here. Let's test it out. So we know that we apply the padding to the div tag. Let me just confirm that we're applying the padding here. I don't call it a container. So class container, right? Call it a container. Copy that and save it. And what do we do with the padding top? And what do we do? 25 RAM. Refresh. Now we're good to go. But we need something beside the image to the right of it. So probably take it out of the container. So we need some text outside the image. What would happen? Let's take it out of the container, right? So let's create another H1 tag. That looks good. But you realize as we add more things, realize this is moving as well.
Yeah, going down.
Because why?
The padding.
The padding. So every time we add somebody, so if I adjust, we gotta adjust the
Push
padding,
the
right?
padding.
Well, that can get annoying, don't it? Can be very annoying. Or we can just use, like I said, I go do the same thing. I have it here, so I realize that as we add things, we realize that the content has been affected using the flexbox, right? So flexbox in itself comes with its own syntax, things that you abide by to apply different styles and patterns. Let's apply a display flex to the entire body of this document to see what happens. So let's start here, create a body, tag, and then we'll display flex. Let's see what happens. Refresh. Alright, what? Alright, so wait. Things just broke. Let's remove all the stylings from the things. Let's comment in our things. Alright, so what just happened?
Everything's gone that way.
Yeah, but why is it going that way? I just did one thing. You don't know what? Alright, so flexbox in itself usually start with a row. So every time we define a flexbox, it makes everything starts in a row. Right? So suppose we wanted an example where let's remove this. We just wanted things to line up nicely in a simple row. Using display flex, put it in a row. Remember, remember we try with the table as well, we have to create cell, put things in a flexbox by itself already gave me that already gave me the cells to apply different things in different format. But suppose I want it to be linear with flexbox. There's a way to do it as well. So there might be another set of code that I need to apply to flexbox to make it go down. Right? So let's see what that looks like, or that might be look like. So we already know how to apply things to the right. Let's continue with the example and see where would it lead to. So things like this now. If I wanted to move this green frog onto the green pad, or this yellow frog onto the yellow frog, this can be done in one line of CSS code, as opposed to me applying a div tag to this frog and applying a div tag to this frog separately, right? But how do I do that? So realize that justify content, which is another syntax of Flexbox, gives you different options. So maybe one of these things can aid in what we're trying to achieve. So let's try justify content first, right? And one of these supposed can help. So I'll say look between, space between. So items may display equally, space between them. Space around items display equally, spacing around them. So realize the two paths them have equal spacing around them. So maybe we can try space around. Let's see what happens. With space around. Oh, that never worked. Because create equal spacing around them. All right, but let's try another one. Maybe space between. Still never work. But why is that? We try apply one thing, justify content, right? Items may apply to the left side, items might be aligned to the right side, items may be centered in the container. Maybe try center? All right, so somebody said, let's try center and see what happens. That's it. All right, but look at this now. Let's try to do the same thing. I say everything that we do here, we're going to do it in CSS for the following thing, right? And I'll just remove all the clutter. using some images. I use two images to make this appreciation look better. Let's refresh. So two similar images, I want to center them. Right? So before we had tried this method where we applied so into same center. This one, right? Alright, so we're going to apply them to different image tags. So one is image one, and image two. Let's apply it to one of the image tags. Like we're going to just create an image tag reference and just create the image tag. So image, because it's supposed to apply to the two images, right? Display block, margin left, margin right, width 50. Supposed to work. Save that two images supposed to line up center. Oh, what the hell has happened? Never line up. Maybe it's the image size. I could change that and see. Let's change the size and see if I really the size how much of it, right? So wait, it is a, okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. Like a 38. It's still, it's not a center. It's not the true center because there's still space between them. You realize that this is the true center. The center would be closer here, right? But the image by themselves, they remove the size of the images. Just remove the size, the width. It's still not the true center. Looking at this, we can tell that this is not the true center.
Like because that image are closing gap.
A closing gap. So now we have to probably look up, all right, so how to center two images. I show you the problems Flexbox try to solve. All right, so cool. We have the display auto, we know this work already. Our image tag, we know this work already. All right, cool. Looking at ideas, looking up some ideas. I might need to tighten up something here, so.
So flex is a set of code that means something else.
No money, it's just an easier way to make things happen with CSS. So Flexbox try to fix the problems of CSS. Just like, how do you think, like, when you're thinking freely using CSS, whether you know CSS or not, you still have to apply multiple things for this to actually come together in a center. But using Flexbox now, is just using display flex and justify content, or two things to line up in the center like that.
So what makes Flexbox more easier to use?
Because less syntax.
No. Because you have HTML and then HTML was hard to use, so then you have CSS, and then CSS was hard to use. So then you have Flexbox, like I'm just saying.
All right, so before Flexbox, there was grid. So
No, I'm just saying after Flexbox, is there anything else hard to use?
you might have multiple ways, of doing things.
No,
No, this
that
is
makes
it.
Flexbox easier.
Or make Flexbox easier. Do they? To be honest, that would be like for me. If I was to say yes, it would be a biased response because yes or no would be a biased response because you realize Flexbox by itself, it does the job. It does everything you want it to do. You know what I mean? So it's like going ahead. I might be extra because CSS, like Flexbox in itself, I can build an entire website using just Flexbox. And as I said, the syntax is not much syntax. I can just build a website using those raw Flexbox, handling my layouts and things. So like I said, it would be very biased of me to say yes. So it's just a matter of preferences. Because some people use grid layout as well. So grid layout, don't want to be biased. So CSS grid layout is similar to Flexbox. So you use grids to represent what goes where. So you have a grid container. If we try it ourselves, we realize what we're dealing with. So grid container, and then we apply different CSS to our grid containers. And then we apply things into their different respective item, grid item container, part of the container. And then they layout on the page appropriately. I just say, yeah.
No, just trying to see like how does it know how many spaces it has?
How many
That's
cells?
9 cells there.
Yeah, because you have 9.
Divs?
Yeah, 9 grid items defined here. And all of them are styled using CSS here, so different size, font size, different border size. So it's heavy, right? So the layout is heavy. It's useful, but it is heavy. But Flexbox handles a lot of the hard work out of the box. It does display flex, and you just specify different attributes for Flexbox to get them to where they need to be. So using this Flexbox froggy will give you an appreciation of how to lay out things properly. You want to give us a hit? The same thing? Alright, so Roxanne said it was the same thing. So justify content center. So
There's only
What was the other one?
only middle frog I get line up.
Something what you call it?
equal,
Other one.
center.
Can hover over
Physical
it.
equals space.
So space between or space around or flex in the center.
Space between.
Alright, so we're trying space between.
You can push and go for
Perfect and move far. Alright, let's see what.
Okay.
a
Alright,
little bit off.
So space around.
alright, let's try space around.
More likely.
Nice. So it does get you familiar with how to layout items. So this has always been a struggle with CSS, raw CSS code, and Flexbox has fixed that problem. Laying out things exactly where they need to be. Alright, so a great appreciation for the final thing because I realized we went over time. So we want to create a list. I don't know if you guys have WhatsApp. But they have WhatsApp, right?
Sure don't have WhatsApp nowadays.
No.
Alright, let me just. So WhatsApp have a picture, name, and somewhere to the right hand side. Because we always want to achieve this layout.
What do you mean?
The layout of having a picture,
Oh.
name, this up top, this at the bottom, this right here, right here. Like you can see where your line up is to the end. Alright, let's create an example of that, right? I'm gonna use Bootstrap. You remember Bootstrap? So they can all work hand in hand. Flexbox is just different. Flexbox is just another type to write, another way to write CSS syntax. Bootstrap in itself is a CSS framework.
So what you do when you find all these things, like you define, go back, first go back to the CSS while you're on the right tab.
Is it?
Yeah. So from you define the display flex, then it knows that you're using Flexbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
So display flex, the HTML document knows how I use Flexbox. So all of the Flexbox rules will be applied to the thing.
I don't know about anybody else, but my brain.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's why this week's supposed to be a recap week, but it's going into things. But these are
No, it's fine.
these are things that you do by yourself. These are things that I want you guys to do by yourself. I'm just the class are just for the fundamental knowledge. So you guys want a quiz? When you know, say just explore, just create crazy things, and that is the beauty of it. 'Cause I can come here and say follow along. It's not paint and sip. So now I come and say, all right, paint the stroke here, so and you paint the stroke. I want you guys to look at the fundamental, which is value colon attributes. Well, attribute colon value. Huh? Yeah, that's another way, property value. Well, property value. And then the same for HTML. What? All right, same for HTML. All there just tags, collection of tags. If we go up on the most complex website, let me go up on the website. I'm not using Brainbox again for another purpose, right? So I was going on a website to just show that a website is a collection of HTML. So this complex looking website is just HTML tags and attribute. Oh, thanks. It's nice company. Yeah?
Brainbox Solutions Limited.
Yeah. Right. So it's just you have a header tag, you have a body tag. Everything is encompassed in the header and body tag. That's all HTML is. And they have different tags. So you can literally Google what each tag does. And W3 schools go through everything extensively. Yeah. So you have a table tag, you have a list tag to write out a list item. You have. No, I was going to create a card looking thing.
Are you still gonna do that?
We can. Right? So it just shows you different way to represent HTML. But let's do it now. Alright, so just going to
Can you
use.
check on everybody else?
I figured my intro. Joel is still here, Lando left.
No, like check on.
Oh, you guys alright? Everybody in the class alright? Joel, how is there? Sound like Joel is on code or something. It's extra code.
Yeah.
Alright, there, man, there. Okay. What else there?
Also,
They
just
say
new
grids
one.
are easier, but they're still a learning curve. Facts. Ziva mentioned something. So now that we learn the fundamental, know how to write from scratch, only then you allow copy and paste. Okay, good. Yeah, but all them have their own learning curve. Once you can just pick one because they all are trying to achieve the same thing. So Flexbox is trying to fix the layout of items. Grid fix the layout of items. Just pick one and tear it up and become good at it. Just pick one and just become good at it and just use it for everything. Just in case you want to probably challenge yourself, I don't know. You want to challenge yourself, but let's create something using Bootstrap. So I'm going to remove reference on my style sheet, represent something from Bootstrap. I'm going to save that. I won't need my style sheet anymore because I'm using everything from Bootstrap. Let's see if Bootstrap have a list layout, right? So list group, right? All right. So you see, let me just confirm what WhatsApp has. All right, cool. Hmm?
No, we call them students.
Call them what?
Guys, you're learning something new.
Oh no, man, I'm good, man.
Um,
I'm good. I know them. I get them hand rated. So what I do, let's copy them page from there to get a list layout. So we're trying to get WhatsApp. Oh yeah, come back. Alright, dating. So what is this? Alright. Hmm?
you really went to do the WhatsApp thing, huh?
I am, but I'm sure you can do it. Nice. So one of them image here, saving it. Already called image avatar. I was leave reference it correctly.
Wait, scroll, but okay.
I'll copy this. Already have a list. So we only need one thing still. So let's go remove this. I have multiple, make it stay. Inside of my list now. So like I said, don't recognize space. I want to create for the image here. So,
You leave the words?
Before?
You want to leave the words?
Which one? Avatar?
No. Press just to.
Hey man, God, this is somebody's name, I can see what that look like.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to break some things, but part of it. Alright, nice. So a big old image with the name beside it. We want it round. So let's apply an inline style. Because we're not referencing a CSS file anymore, so we're using an inline. Cool? So I think it's radius, border radius. Equal 50%.
What are you referencing?
Huh? This is another style.
No, this.
Oh, this is a bootstrap. This is a bootstrap. This is how you get started with bootstrap. That's how I get the strength of these things, right?
Oh.
Alright, so I'll remove this to show you. So I'll just save this. Everything break. So bootstrap is a style sheet I'm referencing.
Bootstrap is an online thing.
You can either import it into your project or you can reference it on the web using the URL. But when you apply bootstrap, you have style sheet access. So this kind of big still. Let's inspect to see if we can do anything about the size. Specific lists, we probably want to narrow down on that. Image itself is pretty large. Maybe the image is the problem, I suppose, because without the image, everything was fine, right? But the image just come in now and decides to do its own thing. Boom, blot everything. Oh, what is happening? Make reducer size still. And what do you know? The list group here is using Flex, and this is Bootstrap default. Right?
Okay.
Oh, I just say people people use Flex and the grid, so it's a thing.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, so
Flex, what name again? Flexbox?
Flexbox. The resources are there, it's another CSS thing. Let's put this to 5%. That's it.
Oh, yes, I like that.
Alright, so the beauty about the width now, the reason why we're able to just edit the width alone is because it's a circle. Yeah. So edit one thing, either the height or the width.
Circumference.
Right? The circumference is affected.
We call it the diameter.
And that Yeah, right?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Circumference, diameter. But the
The
diameter,
diameter,
radius.
yeah.
Mad thing. Alright, cool. So
Math class.
now we need to apply a width here, so let's create another width. I change it to 5%. Alright, so we did it for, let's save this and check again. Alright, nice, so good. So we did it for one list. So many of us duplicate or remove the rest.
What border it is?
For the radius, I'll show you what it is.
There we go. It's almost like a wait, no, sorry. I got distracted.
Alright, so border radius is this. First of all, let's look up what it is. What is defined as? So border radius property defines the radius of the element's corner. She made it. What's the occasion? Alright. So if we remove, I could tamper the border radius and see what it's doing for the image. Wait, wait. It's team. It's too difficult. Wait.
It just has to do with the circle thing.
The edge, just it defines the edge of. It's gonna allow it for mess. The border radius, this the edge here, so bring up the size of the image for one of them. So it actually the edges, it rounds the edges. So remove it.
Oh, yes.
There's the border.
So how round it looks.
Yeah, how? So the edges here, so the border radius, it rounds the edges. So the radius of these edges is what is affected. So we'll put it to 0, and I'm going to move it up from 0. And you can see the edges getting rounded.
Oh, wow.
So you see, so round it to the point of
Yeah.
circle. Right?
You know,
Yeah. You can choose to have this formal layout of the
that's
image.
not what's up.
Oh boy, that's funny. Yeah. We have something to the right now. How do we get things to the right? Probably want a layout over this. Can use Flexbox for that.
Time.
Hmm?
The time of the last message. I want the last message. I want this to be up here.
Oh, so the
Time
flow
of-
like this?
Yeah.
Alright, so I have some here, so maybe we need something below it. Let's remove that because it's. Probably put in a paragraph tag. See what happens. Let's create another paragraph tag. See. Whoa, shit broke. Why? Alright, so we wanted a nice, similar to what we lay with the frog them. You know, we have a nice frog them and a little layout in the cup. So we wanted similar, like an image here, so the message here, so the other time and date it was sent over here. So maybe we can use Flexbox for this particular thing. So let's do it in real time, right? Okay, edit this specific list. Boom, right? Let's make it a flex, right? Things start move already.
Just if does it go?
All right, so maybe on the item itself is what we want to move. So there's a way to reference a specific item
Okay.
as opposed to the entire container of the box. So there's a way to apply a style to this. Things are justifying, but I'm not going to shoot myself in the leg. All right, so maybe we're looking for a display flex item to write. Right, item, align items. All right, maybe we try the first one, who knows? What are we trying to do here? Align the items, right? I think that's what we're trying to do, right? Is it items or the specific item? What are we trying to do? we're trying to move this word. All right, let's change this to a time for more appreciation. Let's change this to 7. When the message actually comes in. Apply the flex again. Image. Alright, so 7 o'clock here, so but we need 7 o'clock over here, so but it's not the way need for the over here, so
With that justification, flex to the right.
well, was the item. So alright, so I'm gonna explain how it works now in more details. So the display flex affects the entire container of the entire container. So when it reflects the body, it affects everything on the web page because that is a container. Here we flex the list alone, right? So it affects the context. So every rule that applies to flex, every say, all right, justify, maybe it's the same justify content, right? To in center. It affects the entire thing in the container. N affect the container, N affects the container. So rules that are defined on the container affect the element within the container. Right? But what we want to know is not for everything to move to the end, but the 7 so you realize the 7 gone over, right? But everything I move with the 7. So maybe we don't want to affect the entire container, but that specific 7 o'clock. Is there a way to align the item to the right hand side, right? So we're trying to, as you said before, we're trying to display a flex item to the right. So how to right align flex item? Usually, as I said before, this answer would usually aid in giving you the most reputable answer is at the top, and the votes are usually much higher, right? So they're saying that there's a space between here, so which probably won't be it. I don't think that is it.
Page about one item.
Yeah, but just on one item. All right, let's try to apply it on one item and see. Let's try to apply it on one item. Because as I say, everything is trial and error.
Some space about equal.
Display, for example. Still nothing happens, right? So no, that's not the answer. So you can try, like I said, when you Google things, the first one isn't always the answer. Maybe the context of the question though might be different. So how more right align contact than use position absolute? Maybe it's not in line with what you're looking for. You're trying to align one HTML tag to the right. So align tag to right using flex. Right? Right. Everything you need to know about Flexbox, you might go to the document and find what you're looking for. So this is some of the things that, as programmers we tend to do. You have to look up what you're looking for, right? So sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it's in your face, sometimes it's not. But you just have to just go through the process of trying to find what you're looking for. All right, we're reading through them, just align item. Right. You see Flexbox. All right, so I'll give you align item. That's it. Same things are coming. Can we ever find answer to this question?
Can you?
Can we find it? So I'm just saying it's difficult. So you have to get creative in your search processes now. So I know there's alright, so I'm gonna just get to the chase. So there's a flex box, which I'll share with you guys.
Right, somebody else.
Um, maybe I'll just type flex box. Nice. Yeah, somebody must have done this somewhere. So container flex, everything is in that order as we described. Direction can be changed from row to column. So by default, it's row. If you want to change the column, you can just change the flex direction. Order can specify the order of each flow. Same thing with direction. If too many things are on the same column, it changes. So this document explains how to use Flexbox. So these are justify content. We already know what that is. Them justify the whole thing to the end center. Them show you space between. But we'll look for the island. Wait, there's a line self. What is going on here? This looks very in line with what we're trying to do, right? So I realize one thing move out of place. Why? What's so different about this? So this allows the default alignment, blah, 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 to be written for individual flex item. This is what we're looking for, right? Because this picture demonstrates that one thing I move out of place, every one of them we're moving collectively. but this one seems to be delinquent. So what is align itself? What are the options that are available? So that specific item will go flex in. They have the same thing pretty much, right? So make sure you align itself now.
But where do you put?
Cause a 7 I could try moving. I try.
Okay, continue.
So make we try. We'll see where we put it after we try it real
Okay.
time. Align self is a thing. Alright, cool. Let's switch to a different option that we have. Oh, 7 is moving. So out of place. Alright, so something is moving. But why is it not working? Why is it not going to the end? Why is it still over there? 7 is moving, you know. 'Cause you see the 7 moving, right?
Yeah.
Just up and down, it's not being.
Yeah, why is it not going over?
It's not
Could
very
it be that it might be aligning or sticking to what you define
Container.
with the container? Ooh, maybe. Let's check the container and see what we want. So, so container, we did apply a flex to the container. We did, right?
Mhm.
We want something in that container to move over to the right, which is a 7. Try align cell, but we see it move up and down. But funnily, look at this. Let's go back to the example. It was here and it got down, so maybe it's just up and down it was meant to do. Maybe because it was in here and it moved down. So this allows the default alignment. Please align it, blah blah blah. Alright, so
But then, but
But it's
wait,
coming
go
more
back.
than.
Go to the baseline in the one you're doing.
this one still align itself.
No, yeah, align self.
Mm-hmm.
Check baseline.
Check baseline.
Yeah.
Which one is baseline?
As in the option.
Oh, so
where
try
flex
baseline.
starts, yeah. No, instead
Oh,
of flex
instead of
start.
six start, try baseline.
Yeah.
Alright, nothing happens with baseline.
Oh,
But it move up and down. But maybe we want to change the
But it not
direction.
even not move that far either.
that's what you're saying. It's in the problem in the direction, right?
Yeah, but, it'll go up and down. The reason why it probably now go so far down is maybe
For the
because
container, instead of the container.
yeah. So I could see where it actually is going or what is really happening.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to this thing because this never helped me. We might need to go a little deeper. All right, so align item. All right, so items are move again. Once a center, once a stretch. The item themselves is being manipulated. Them items, right? All right, this shouldn't be that difficult. All right, so examples. Maybe example will help us. Maybe. Let's look again. All right, so we have they have a nice little code pen here. Maybe we can tamper with their CSS. Oh, nice. All right, cool. So what is missing? Like we may even need to check back the reference here, Satina, because something must like why you think now move to the right? The number one first one, right? They allow me to move this to the end. But we did try justify end, but the container itself, because there's one item in this container, move over. Must be something we're missing, right? Must be something.
So you
Right.
can't be in its own container within the container.
It can't well a container we're modifying about one item. So we know say one item in the flexbox is called item, right? So maybe we need to get creative with Google search. So move one item inside flex container to right. Because that's what you're thinking, right? Because that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. So maybe we'll go, what? I'm not a robot. I am a robot. Alright, cool beans. Ooh, well, move an item of expert. Oh, actually, somebody actually spelled it out. What is going on? Alright, let's look at the example what they're trying to do. So this is what I have. Not seeing anything.
This.
This?
And this is what they're trying
Alright, this is what I'm trying to get. So realize that them have a group of item that is centered, but they want the register move to the right. Similar to how we want our 7 o'clock move to the right. Okay, it follow the crowd. We don't want to follow the crowd. We need something unique. This is what I'm trying to get. So maybe this is in line with what we're looking for, right? So let's go down to the answers. All right, you can put this position. All right, guys, don't look at this. This is just the harder way to do it using CSS, right? So you can tweak it using CSS, so the compilation of CSS, or you can just text
That's another
specific.
way, because I hold one Saturday.
Maybe one
person
day?
use it, yeah, one.
There's a 4 answers, but one person.
All right, so let's confirm. It's just one answer, but still tick. That means I work for somebody. So 0 means that nobody not try it, and you can choose to try it if you want to.
Everything else is 0.
0 basically, but let's see what they're trying to do, because they give an example, what they were trying to achieve. So them create a register, but it still have the same thing. Guys, we're stuck on this problem for how long? It's been 20 minutes. 20 minutes to move 1 7 p.m. to the right hand side. This, right? So, all right, yeah, man. So read and shoot. I just showing you what programming requires. It requires the patience to fix that problem, because
Really does
at the end of the
require
day, we still try to create WhatsApp, but we're still stuck on this one dege thing to move the 7 p.m. to the right hand side. One thing to the right hand side. Still here, we have a 7 o'clock refresh. We wasn't even display for us to get it in line, but we still cannot get the thing to the right. So we have to search more. Or this never helped me, or did it? Maybe we can get clues from the specific thing that we're looking for. Let's look at the items that we know about, right? So we know background color, no self affect background, we know width, no text align at a center, we know border, we know that, no font size, justify content flex. We'll try this already, so this probably won't help us. But go back again, items and flex box.
Transition to the left.
Maybe it's not transition. Well, transition, it wouldn't be a syntax for flexbox, but you can check still. Transition, flexbox. So these are things you ask yourself questions, and you probably want to test them to see if it's a thing. Ask yourself the questions. No, so it's not a thing, right? All right, so align items. We're gonna go deeper into it. So usually what I would do is some high level searches. So Google things, click some button, not read through nothing. If you did it, I would know it, because I would know the syntax, I would see it, then it's there. But let's try reading. All right, so really want to control the alignment of all items on the cross axis, which is this axis, right? And then we can align self, which controls the alignment of an individual flex item. So I keep seeing align self.